speaking of Pedro Pascal, will you watch The Last for Sure? I'm watching it actually currently. Yeah, I am watching it. I really like it. And I know the third episode is going down really, really well. And this is the thing. It's a really good story and I love it. I loved it up until the end. The third episode I'm talking about, by the way. But I remember watching it and I was like, people are going to eat this up. People are going to love this, which I think, the reaction to the third episode, I think a lot of people, and that's absolutely been the case, a lot of people do love it. And I could tell from watching it that people were going to get that from it. And it's a very well written episode until it gets to the point. And so my partner's disabled, right? So this comes from them. So I understand why people don't come at it from this perspective, because I think, there is a larger demographic watching the show and just generally out in public that are able-bodied, right? But the third episode we just had at the end does press down on a message of, if you are disabled, it's so bad that the only possible way to deal with that is to take your life, which is a really harmful message and made my partner feel like shit. Do you know what I mean? I think it's a lot of what people aren't talking about. And I think if we were both able-bodied and this was an opinion maybe that we had and saw about the episode, I probably wouldn't talk about it. But I because it's like it's not my place to talk in the place of people who are disabled, right? But I think because my partner is, and I know and I could see how that affected them, I do feel like it's kind of my duty, because I'm not really seeing a lot of discourse about it, to say that was problematic. And it wouldn't be as problematic, but I think a lot of disabled representation in media is so similar to that and ends that way. And I think it's worse in a way, not worse, but I think the part of the problem was as well that it was a very vague, it wasn't specified. It was implied that it was something like cancer that the guy had, that Frank had, but it wasn't really specified. So, which kind of makes it worse in a way, because then it's like a blanket statement of, if you are in a wheelchair, then that's how it goes for you, and it paints the idea of being in a wheelchair as the worst thing in the world, which I think is quite ableist and doesn't really do people who do live like that. It's very bleak for those people, and it doesn't give them much hope. And I think especially because a lot of people didn't pick that out of the episode and were like, oh my god, what an amazing episode, what a great episode, that is very demoralizing to disabled people as well.